Hey, Simon here, and it is high time to release some Harmonia videos. I think the last time a video was released was back in August or something like that, and there's been a lot of development in the meantime and just a lot of personal stuff going on, so I had kind of taken away from making movies of the game, but there's anytime I kind of disappear, it means I'm spending most of my time programming. So there's been a lot in the works, so let's just get going here. I'm going to start off by showing the latest thing, which is this big fancy sprite editor. And this, as you can see, runs inside the game. Let's disable that background because that's a bit distracting. And you can actually edit sprites while they are running. Like while the game is running, you can kind of play around with and modify the stuff you're working on. So this is a pretty powerful little tool. And this isn't just for internal development. One of the goals has always been to make this game be really moddable. So if, for example, you were running a server and you wanted to have some custom sprites or like just change the textures around or add some custom animations or just kind of do whatever you wanted, like run some crazy pirate server in the middle of nowhere that was like really super heavily modded and customized. The goal is you'll be able to do that. Like if it was a Minecraft server or something. So, let's check it out. There are quite a lot of sprites already in the game. I'm just kind of scroll through these just so you get an idea. Here are various faces. There are a lot of faces. I think there are like 16, something like that. A lot of hairstyles, and we're just looking at these from the front. These all have left, right, back orientations. Some hats. There need to be more. This is the little icon, which is new, that appears when you attack stuff. Some items. There need to be a lot more. Some work-in-progress monsters. And some old sprites. Here's some races, which just pretty much modify the ears at the moment. Except for the mouse, which is just kind of ridiculous. And all of the weapons right here, which there are quite a bit of at the moment, but these are just classes. There's nothing really customized, which there's always room for later. Kind of another thing that would be cool if people modded their servers to have a bunch of custom weapons. So let's take a look at all the little features in here. You can go and change the texture around. I don't really have any other textures to kind of sample with that, but it works. Just trust me on that. You can change the size of the sprite, which is like the pixel size. If we change it to 64 by 64, it would assume that the pixel size is a lot bigger, so this clearly is pretty bogus because it's gluing on things that are a different size, but so it supports any size of any sprite. And this is the number of directions it has. Like if it were 8, you'd be able to face down, down to the left, left, up and to the left, and so on, but everything we have so far is 4, which is just fine. Then these are some kind of technical options, and some kind of hack things that I put in to use with the arrow. So if you look at that, you can see it kind of from the side and from the front. So, has this little star next to it because I modified. It's begging me to save it. So, first feature is regions, which modifies all the colors. If I do this show region colors thing, you'll see all these really bizarre colors right here, which, I'm going to show something a little early here. Let's get rid of all the stuff that we glued on, like no hair, no face, no weapon, etc. Weapon, okay. Oops, okay. So here's the sprite as it is, like in its raw form. And what we do is we say the body is orange, and here's the default color for it. So if you look at the body, it's going to be this brown, and there it is. Second part of the body, which is blue, this strap here is going to be kind of a lighter brown. The reason we have this is so you can really differentiate which different parts of the sprites are in case we want to change colors. Like right now I can just kind of change what the default color of the body is. So if you wear different armor and it's blue, then this guy's going to show up as blue. This is like the white, the face is gone, so this is irrelevant. Hair color, same kind of thing. Legs, you get the idea. Skin, very important. You can change that around. Now he's blue. Okay, that's really annoying. Let's make him not blue. Oops, changing the body around. Skin is... yeah, okay. Here is the almighty frame editor, which is where you do most of the important work. I've zoomed in a bit here so you can see that this is typically how you'll work on it. It's kind of impossible to manage over here. But as you go through all the frames, it shows you where they are on the right side. Everything in the green is the one we're working on right now. So if you can see class archer idle 1 down, D for down. This is the down one. So you can... right now we're in texture mode, so you can kind of drag this around and choose where you want the texture to be. In this case we want it right here. You can resize them, so any frame can be any size it needs to be. Center in this case refers to where we orient our feet. So in this case, let's say right here is where we orient our feet. Kind of a weird example, but you get the idea. Let's put this back to normal here. Pretty easy to use. So this right here, and actually before we do this, we need to reattach our faces. Let's use angry face. Let's use long hair. We need a weapon, an ankh, and he has a second weapon, and an axe. Yeah, don't mess with this guy. So, if you go to the limb editor, here's right hand, our hand, L hand for left hand, and face. So this is where it glues on all the various elements of our character. So if you move face around, it moves the hair and the ears and the well, the face along with it, which in this case is usually the eyes. And this moves the hand around, obviously. And here is the other hand, right here. But you can also rotate them. So if we rotate this 190 degrees, see now the axe is rotated, which is really useful when you're doing walking animations and you want one weapon to be swinging to and fro, something like that. The face never rotates because if you do, it looks like this, which is some kind of horrible freak with an upside down head. We do not want that, at least not right now. There is also this, well, scale. Kind of obvious what it does, makes things bigger or smaller. Gigantic hand gives gigantic weapons. There's also Z order. If you notice, this staff is in front of the hand, but if you move Z order backwards, now it's in the back. That's important for if you have a weapon and but you're not actually facing the camera, like right here, everything is in the back. You don't want the axe coming through, because here is how that looks. Okay. That just does not look right. So, set that back to what it was. It's pretty smart in that if you are selecting the sprite going up and you move this around, you change the up-facing sprite the frame, of whatever you're working on. You go to the left, you change the left sprite, frame, I keep saying sprite, left frame of whatever you're working on, and so on and so forth. So let's get rid of the axe. So now we're just using an ankh. There. Okay. The last thing on here is the animation editor, which is pretty straightforward. You just have a list of various possible animations, and then you select a bunch of animation scripts from the right side. So, for example, death uses death spin explode, which spins and, well, yeah, it explodes. There's also pulse explode, which is used for the slime at the moment. And I just noticed a bug. The explosion happens from the center here, but it should also happen from the center here, but it's from the bottom. Gotta fix that. You see there's explosion boom, which is the animation used by the explosion when it blows up. So we're gonna use that. And so we don't have to hear that sound anymore, we're just gonna move on. And here is just a simple cycle through every, everything at 10 frames a second, I believe, something like that. walk uses this 4-frame animation, which includes a sound for stepping on grass. There's also bounce, which is apparently not being used. Ah, right, the gravity was changed because it was an explosion. Ah, let's fix that real quick. There we go. Okay. So now it's using the bounce walk. So we modified this archer a bit, so if we wanted to, we could go and we could save it. But I don't actually want to save it. But then the next time the game boots, it'll load this up. The next project with all these sprites are to have it actually synced with the server so that when you connect, like it does with the maps and sound effects, it'll kind of upload new sprites if you want to upload them, and it will download sprites that are new on there. So if you connect to your favorite server and they just uploaded like 1,000 sprites or something, it'll just start downloading all those automatically and update them while you're playing. So already works, it just needs to be put back in server side. So there is the sprite demo. I'm going to work on the next one now. See ya.